He's sitting next to Chris McLaughlin. C-Mac, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
Well, Loyola Chicago, they got to cut their errors down. 39 in 3 sets on Friday was way too many on Thursday night. To compete tonight, they will need to be in the 24 range, at least fewer hitting errors, fewer passing errors, fewer serving errors. And for Hawaii, more of the same. Minor tweaks in offense and defense. The biggest challenge, though, will be preparing for a much better Rambler team.
It will be Louis Sakonoko, who had the final kill last night, who will have the first serve here on night 2. And we're playing volleyball under the Friday night lights here in the arena. And that one is put down, soaring high above the net. Was the middle Aiden Klein, 6'9" junior from Evanston, Illinois, touches well over 12 feet, as evidenced by that first put down. The Hawaiian Financial FC starting lineup scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Big change for Hawaii. Ofek Hazan, the 6'6" sophomore from Israel, getting the start in place of Travell Jordan, as Christian Tatriski is blocked. And then the set to Hazan. Good layout saved by the libero J.J. Soa. And then Daniel Fabikovic is rejected, and it is Ofek Hazan getting the chunk of that, jumping up next to Tread Rosenthal.
I guess the middles don't drop off that much, huh, Kanoa? Travell Jordan out tonight with a bit of a injury, and he'll be back, though. But meantime, Hazan steps right in and picks up a really good block.
They got 5 middles on the roster. And so showing off a little bit of that depth here on night 2. Here's the tip, Alexander Sosa. The pancake save by Louis Sakonoko was for naught. So Hawaii was not able to forge the return, and Sosa gets the kill. He had 9 kills, but also had 7 errors last night. Hit a .111. He's the 6'8" junior from Serbia, transfer from Quincy, where he was a second-team All-MIVA selection last year. Preseason pick coming into this season. Back row, here's Louis, blocked and roofed. And that time it was the other middle, Brad Bell, the 6'9" senior from Salem, Wisconsin, jumping up next to Fabikovic. And just like that, Loyola Chicago up 3-1. Already a better start here in set 1.
Absolutely.
By a long shot compared to last night. Outside, here is Adrian Rohr, and he's able to rip it through the hands and down. The sophomore from Lyon, France. How good has this guy been so far through 3 matches? He's hitting .525 on the year.
That's unbelievable numbers. For a guy playing his position, he's hitting like .350. It's a huge year.
Just crept over the net, over pass, but unable to put it down that time was Justin Todd. Roll shot, the dig there by Quentin Greenidge. Hawaii on the attack. Oh, the behind-the-head middle set to Todd was a little low, and Todd wasn't able to execute full extension on it, and he sends it long.
The idea was right. Todd had a pretty clean net to look at, but just, I think the set was a little bit too low.
Shane Davis in his 14th season, second time through, though, as head coach of Loyola Chicago, the winningest head coach in Ramblers history. He took over once again last year. His first stint went 12 years. He took over the job when he was 23 years of age, and all he did was, while learning on the fly, lead them to back-to-back national championships in 2014 and 2015. He coached Northwestern on the women's side for 8 years before returning back to Chicago. Diving save there by Rosenthal. Greenidge sets up Sakonoko. Did he get a piece of the block? Yes, he did. And so Louis, who committed his first hitting error of the season last night, got blocked moments ago, but he's able to scratch one in the kill column here early on in set 1 tonight. Charlie Wade in year number 17 here, as his team ranked 2nd in the ABCA poll to start the season. Outside, here's Sosa, hits it long. Oh, they're going to say that, yeah, no, they are going to uphold the call. It is long, and Sosa, who had several of those last night, just a little bit off in terms of the calibration, commits the hitting error. Hawaii jumps ahead.
I expect he'll make fewer of those hitting errors tonight.
Fabikovic sets up Sosa cross court. The tip right there was Rosenthal. So Rohr sets up his fellow Frenchman, Louis Sakonoko, and Sakonoko goes off the hands and down, and the French connection comes through there on assist to kill.
Notice that Louis saw 3 blockers up, so he chose not to try to hammer it through them, but to just hit off the edge of the block, and he got a kill with hitting half the speed.
That service error ends what was a 4-point run for Hawaii, and Adrian Rohr letting out a smile as some of his front row players perhaps saw part of their lives flash in front of them. Here's Daniel Fabikovic, junior from Czech Republic. How good has this guy been in his career? Against the grain set, Christian Tatriski demolishes it. He has hit double figures in kills every match so far this season, 11 more last night. That's now 20 double-figure kill matches through 26 in his career.
He's a 6'8", touches close to 12 feet, got a whip of an arm, and Charlie Wade describes him as a freak of nature. He hits the ball harder than anybody on the planet.
Joust above the tape, it rolls back over onto the Hawaii side. Backside, here's Tatriski down the line and wide. He had two blockers in front of him, but the block fully formed. Maybe a missed opportunity there for Christian.
He just bit off a little more than he could chew there.
So now Brad Bell, in his 4th year with the Ramblers program, serves it down the line. Greenwich takes on the pass. Here's Tatriski again, and he's able to tool the block. Jake Reed presented the opposition there. Jake Reed getting the start in place of Bryce Robbins here this evening. Reed, the 6'4" junior from Newport Beach, California. A little bit more of the established passer. And so with some of the issues in serve receive last night against Hawaii, Shane Davis wanting to bolster that part of the game. Here's the tip by Sosa, and it finds the floor.
Much better choice by Sosa that time to rather be in his avoidance hitting mode. He chooses to keep the ball in play. I think he's going to do a lot more of that tonight rather than trying to hit the ball around the block.
Pass by Rohr, that pulls tread off of the net, sets up Sakanoko, and he goes over the block and down.
Did you see Louis? He does the over the head move there, saying, yeah, I can jump high, I can go over the block. Take a look at it right here, see if he goes over. Yeah, he goes over the block and down.
He also had one of the more thunderous service aces last night. See what he does here. 9 serving 7 in set 1. Rolls it over. Good pass there by Fabi. They go D set. Sosa cross court and in.
I'll tell you, if Sosa gets going, Hawaii is going to be in trouble, because last night Hawaii counted on him missing a lot by avoiding the block. This time he keeps it in play, avoids the block nicely. He just didn't hit quite as hard as he was last night.
Good pass that time by Rohr. Here's the middle to Ofek Hazan, and he goes off the block and down. Yeah, getting back to Alexander Sosa, this is a guy who has, despite his accolades while with Quincy, fellow MIVA program, comes over to Loyola Chicago, and he has to make the adjustment to the tempo with which the Ramblers play. And so last night on night 1, some of the timing maybe still a work in progress. Rosenthal able to slow that one down on the block. Diving save Hazan, but then the second touch winds up out of play. So that negates what was a heck of an effort there by the 6'6" middle.
Back to Sosa, I agree with you, on him having to get used to a different tempo and style of play. I mean, taking a few games to get used to it, and clearly he's got the offensive firepower to do it. It's a matter of getting that connection going between his center and him.
5 returning starters from a team that won 25 matches and won the MIVA for the 4th time in program history on this Rambler roster. Good reaction time there by Rosenthal. Bump set to Tatriski from off the net. Got blocked. Rosenthal able to keep it up. Here's Sakanoko from the back row. Dug up there by Soa. Back row, and that is Reed, and he is able to find the sideline. So a good rally that time, but the 6'4" junior swinger from Newport Beach, California, had the goods.
I'd be surprised if Loyola, who's passing really well right now, doesn't go more to the middle. The middles hit 0 last night, but I think it would be very important for them to be more effective tonight.
Rosenthal sends it out to Tatriski, and that was a little tight to the pin, so Tatriski had to resort to the left-handed attempt, and he got smothered there, and we're tied for the third time here in set one.
Tatriski much more comfortable on the right side or hitting the D-ball, that's for sure.
Well, you're hitting 176 here in the first, 214 on the other side for Loyola Chicago. And this is going to come towards us, and that is a service ace. And the Ramblers take the lead. So the crowd trying to urge this Hawaii team on. Ryan McElligott, the senior setter. That one handcuffed Roar a little bit. So Hawaii scrambling. Tatriski unable to get it past the resistance. And the Blurs in a blur have scored 4 in a row, and that's going to force a timeout by Charlie Wade. Night 2, a different vibe here in the first. And weather that matter most to you and your community available on all your favorite devices. So what's happening here halfway through this first set, you think, C-Mac?
Loyola's playing better, and Hawaii's not. Pretty simple. Shane Davis has done a nice job of getting the team prepared for tonight. And I think they've got a lot of their first night jitters are gone.
13-7-11 out of the timeout, and another ace there by McElligott. He had 32 aces last year, was an all-MIVA first-team selection, led the league in assists per set. And that was nasty down the line.
Reminds me a lot of Hawaii's Finn Kearney in the way he moves that ball around as a lefty.
And that even provided some trouble for Greenwich. Sakanoko sends it across half-heartedly. Cross-court set. This is Sosa. Rolls it over the block. Pancake save, Greenwich. But nobody able to get up a second touch. And so the Ramblers hit 15 first. They have scored 6 in a row. Hawaii reeling. Chicago with just 2 errors, hitting 312. Hawaii with 4 errors, hitting 167. Ryan McElligott in this service run has 2 aces. Hawaii did not give up any aces last night. In fact, they only had given up 2 aces through 3 matches this season. And there's another one. 3 of a kind here on this service run for McElligott.
You know what's really good about his serving? He's got the wide fan. He can go right down the line, right where he's hitting from now, or he can go deep cross court. Very versatile.
First time this year that we have seen Hawaii this befuddled in serve receive. Backside, here's Roar. They need it. Goes off the hand. Sliding save. Soa keeps it alive. Here's Sosa, and he lights it aflame. And the Ramblers are rolling here in set 1.
Sosa with his 6th kill after struggling last night, hitting a .11, making a ton of errors. Tonight, leading the way with 6 kills.
8 straight points for Loyola Chicago. Sosa's 3rd kill in that span. He has yet to stop this moving train. 17-7-11 in the first. Sakanoko, that's an overpass, but a net violation is going to bail Hawaii out. And the crowd applauds the effort by the Hawaii team to get out of that rotation, but I think they're also kind of applauding the effort of Ryan McElligott.
Absolutely. He had quite a run there, reminiscent of Justin Todd's runs last night.
That's an overpass, a little joust above the tape, and it's going to be a Hawaii point. It's going to be a back row attacker violation. And so Hawaii gets back-to-back points, and they're going to have to score in some bunches to get back into this first frame. Here's Roar. Makes sure he gets it in that time. Fabikovic the pass, gets the set on the opposite side, punched up in the air by Rosenthal. So Tatriski sets up Louis, pushes it deep and down. How did he see that? And now Loyola Chicago signals for a timeout.
This is like Tatriski's shot last night, going to the hot corner. Almost hits both lines, gets just inside the back line. What a smart shot by Louis.
Yeah, just the creativity of Louis Sakanoko. He is a high-flying artist. out there on the TerraFlex. Let's check in with Ryan Kalei-Suji. Ryan, what you got for us?
Hey, thanks, Gunnar. Well, this first set really has become this battle of rotation one. Hawaii was just in rotation one during that last scoring run for the Ramblers with Adrian Rohr on that right side. Yeah, Hawaii actually had to move to a 4 passing pattern, moving Chutritsky back. And now the Ramblers themselves, with Adrian Rohr serving, find themselves also stuck in rotation one, a rotation that sometimes can be tricky with your 0-1 on the right and your opposite on the left. And so right now, the Ramblers really just trying to find a way to get out of this. The one thing that Charlie Wade is trying to preach to his team is just to be more aggressive on the passing. We saw at times balls falling between players, and that really was something that Charlie Wade was really adamant about, getting his players to be more aggressive on the pass and not necessarily relying on their platform to get the ball. He wants his team to do a better job of getting in front of that, moving forward in the passing department. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. We had not seen Hawaii taking a task in serve receive like that yet. Obviously, this very young season, but yet through 3+ matches.
Exactly, and them having to move to a 4-person passing formation, also something we haven't seen this year.
Hawaii rips off the next 3 points. They trail by 3. And Adrian Rohr gets ready. Last time Hawaii has lost in a January match was against this Loyola Chicago team back in 2024. Bump set here, Sosa blocked and roofed. 3 blockers up, 6 Rainbow Warrior hands across, and it was Justin Todd setting up the tent pole in the middle.
So interesting, tonight is such a game of streaks.
It's 4 in a row. Back row, dug up over the net by Rohr. How did he do that? Ramblers on the attack. Here is Fabikovic. Hawaii keeps it off the floor. The dig by Greenwich. Backside, Fabikovic, the tip. Diving save, Greenwich again. Backside, Chutritsky gets the point.
What a point. Filled with great defense. I think Rohr's dig was the best one. Although Greenwich's was pretty good too, but Chutritsky finishing. But the first dig by Rohr, how did he get that one? Popped off his chest, I think.
That's what these people show up for, plays like that. Meanwhile, Alexander Sosa able to quiet the environment just a tad there with that ricochet kill. But that was some magnificent high-level volleyball, as we were expecting with 2 top 10 teams in the house. 18 serving 16. Pass that time by Rohr. Outside, here's Louis, blocked and roofed. And Sosa was able to set the edge on that one.
Sosa having quite the night. And 7 kills already, and he was in on that block with Bell.
Loyola Chicago by 3. Here's the middle. This is Justin Todd depositing it. So Hawaii hanging tough here.
This is something I know Hawaii has for a strategy tonight. Feed the middles more. They were playing well last night, but just didn't get fed enough. Tonight, I sense that they will get more sets, make it easier on the outside hitters, having the middle blockers getting out there and forming an early block. Now, if the middles are attacking more, we'll keep them more honest.
And Kearney in to serve. Pass there by Soa. Back row, Fabikovic. Look out, some high cheddar in the direction of Trent Rosenthal.
Great first pass that time from libero J.J. Soa. It allows Bobby to do his thing, hitting the pick out of the back row.
That is the first kill of this match for Fabikovic. Here's Lucas Anderson. Service sub for the Ramblers. Here is Hazan. Bounces it off of the floor.
He's so happy he's getting a chance to play tonight. He's taking the place of Travell Jordan, who's on the sideline injured.
Hazan hitting .250 through 3 sets prior to tonight. Chutritsky on the serve. Outside, this is Reed. And again, that quick tempo, effective on that occasion, setting up that one-on-one battle, and Reed was able to win it.
Reed at 6'4", going up against the 6'11" Tread Rosenthal. That time, Reed won that battle.
So here is Sosa to serve. And it's out. Hawaii could use a little bit of help here. Down 2, about to make this final turn here in set 1. Largest lead for the Ramblers was 6. And Hawaii was able to fight back. Louis Sakanoko to serve.
Went for the heat.
Got it in, but what a pass by Fabi. Sosa blocked. Soa the cover. Outside, Reed rolls it down the line. Tatriski with the sliding save. Outside, it's Rohr, the tip. And it's kept alive until Tread finishes the deal.
How about Tatriski playing some more defense? Giving up his body on that play. Took himself out as a hitter. Watch this right there. He is right there. A little pretty quick. I didn't know he moved that fast.
Yeah.
That made the play. Extended the rally.
And this crowd drinking in the effort here. And of course, Tread Rosenthal with the finisher. Tread, who himself last night had 5 kills on 6 attempts, called his own number several times, but the advantage of having such a big old setter up in the front row, when there's a low-hanging fruit hanging above the net, he knows what to do with it.
He makes it look easy.
Hawaii now hitting .296 compared to .241 for the Ramblers. And we have certainly seen an uptick in the defensive effort of Hawaii here over this last stretch of the first.
It's made a big difference. Hawaii playing better back row defense, reading the tips of this Loyola offense.
All right, while we have a break in the action, let's check in once again with Ryan. What's up?
Hey, thanks, Kuno. Well, speaking of that Loyola offense, that's exactly what Charlie Wade is talking to his team and his blockers specifically about. He's feeling that the right side blockers are just getting tooled. He wants his blockers to do a better job of their hand positioning. Right now, they're getting too high and being tooled by this faster offense to the outside pin. He wants his wing blockers, specifically Tread Rosenthal and Christian Tatriski, to be a little more steady with their hand positioning and watch for those roll shots like we saw Tatriski just pick up. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, when you talk about up-tempo offenses, how fast are we talking about with this Loyola Chicago team, C-Mac?
About as fast as you can get, although last night they weren't fast because they weren't passing well, but they get good passing tonight. They just fire the ball to the pins, making it really difficult with Hawaii's middle blockers.
Louis went for it again and hits it into the string. He was able to get that first heater in. What do you think about the decision to unload again on that second try?
I would prefer a little roll shot there or something, because he does hit the roll shot well.
Moves by 2. Sakanoko handles that serve. D set. This is Tatriski. And how about that for some artistry?
What a smart shot by Christian Tatriski. That time there was really only one place that he could put it. That was the middle of the floor.
And into the match comes Kainoa Wade. He served the last 5 points in the third last night to close the deal. Had 2 aces in that run. They could use some of that juju right now. 21 serving 22. Down the line, and he delivers.
Is that the juju you were talking about, Kanoa? Oh, man.
Ace in your face. We are tied at 22. Another great one. Tight to the net, pushed over. Wade with the save over on 2 goals. Rosenthal, but Loyola Chicago now on the attack. Sosa down the line, and that was ferocious. And the Ramblers jump in front.
What another great shot by Sosa down the line. He's just having such a much better night. Last night, a disastrous night where he had so many errors on the night. He had
7 errors.
A total of 7. There were only 9 kills to go along with it. Tonight, 8 kills, 2 errors, hitting .500.
And a different story here in the first. He has come out with a purpose. Pass there by Louis. Middle set. Todd straight down to the floor, and we are knotted at 23. It's a race to 2 here for set 1.
This is what these players play for. They play games from 20 all in practice all the time.
And no timeouts left on either side here. And it's an out serve by Rosenthal. He went with the jump float. And that gives Loyola Chicago set point.
There's an example of Tread serving heater, 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 roll shot, roll shot. Has not served the floater, and I don't know how long.
And so here is Ryan McElligott, who has 3 aces in this first set to serve Aloha ball. And it is another ace. 4 of a kind for Ryan McElligott. And Loyola Chicago becomes the first team to score 20 or more points in a set against Hawaii this season. And if this call stands, we may get a challenge. They would be the first team to defeat Hawaii in a set this season. But we are going to get a challenge from Charlie Way. They're going to challenge the in-out call here on what would be the ace finisher. So hold the phone.
I think it's a good challenge by Charlie. It was a close call, I think. It's a close call.
Oh, yeah, that's in.
That's in.
So that should be confirmed pretty immediately. Mark Nakashima conducting the reviews across the way. He's the R2. Randy Rubinall, the R1. Kevin Chun and Hunter Heleniak, the 2 line judges. How about Ryan McElligott? As the call will be upheld in set 1 is Powell. He carried the load. He and Alexander Sosa putting in work, and the Blurs are the first to take one off of the Rainbow Warriors here in this 2026 season. We thought they'd have a bounce back, and boy did they. We may have ourselves a battle in Manoa. 23, Loyola Chicago, the first team to take one off of Hawaii here, and it comes in the first set of the 4th match of the season. And Sosa was Alexander the Great in that first set, C-Mac.
He really was. What a show. He put on 8 kills. He probably averages last year at Quincy around 4 kills. So he doubled that output here in set number 1. Just playing a great all-around game, serving well, and only had 2 errors, whereas last night, as we said earlier, was 7 errors. And McGillicuddy, how about McGillicuddy? I'm telling you, 4 service aces.
Hawaii had given up 2 total through 3 matches. And so those 2 guys for Loyola Chicago, they were
wrecking crew,
carrying the heavy load there, and they were able to make it happen. And you could tell right off the bat, there was just a different tone and a different vibe about this Loyola Chicago team. They took the Terraflex with a mission here in mind, and they accomplished that mission at least in set 1. But we got a lot of volleyball left.
Remember, last night was their first match of the year. Hawaii's already got 2 under their belt, so a few more nerves last night.
So set 2 underway. Back row, Sakanoko with the crack attack, and Hawaii on the board here in set 2. Man, he is getting some significant liftoff here in 2026, isn't he?
He is. With the French flag out tonight.
That one just crawls over the net. Middle set, hanging and banging, was Aiden Klein. And he was on the magic carpet right there.
He really was. Well, I guess when you're 6'9", you can do that.
Legit hang time there. However, his serve goes into the string. And so it goes back to Hawaii up 2-1 here in set 2. What does Hawaii have to do better here in this second frame to even this matchup?
Simple word. They've got to pass better. They've got to pass Loyola's tough serves better. And then get their middles involved and keep their serves in.
Yeah,
Pretty simple.
They missed some serves at very key times as they were trying to fight their way back into it in that first set. And here is the guy who has been devastating from the service line so far this evening, Ryan McElligott. And he is human. Serves one long.
Superman can take off his cape.
He has to turn into Clark Kent every once in a while. Yeah. We don't imagine that's going to last long. The senior from Munderland, Illinois. Big-time athlete is how he has been described.
And good friends with half of Hawaii's starting lineup as well.
Played with a bunch of them over the summer. Backside, this is Pavikovic. And when he attacks the ball, I mean, it is a full body attack.
Really a smart hitter. Knows when to pull the trigger. Knows when to go all out. Hardest worker in the gym.
Yeah, Shane Davis calls him our best overall player in the gym. And he says that's always a good indicator for your team when your best overall player is also your hardest overall worker. As Sakonoko tried to go line and he misses wide. Sakonoko now with 6 kills, but he has committed 3 errors. On the other side, Sosa leading with his 8 kills. 4 serving 3. Louis with the pass. Rosenthal backside to Treesky, and that was too hot to handle. Bobby was in position, but that was a lot to ask for with the smoke show that came off the palm of Christian Tatrisky.
Yeah. Tatrisky just goes up, and that time he goes over Reed that time and down. What a shot.
Both these teams starting the season ranked in the top 10. Both these teams coming off of appearances in the NCAA tournament. Long run there from McElligott. Bump set to Reed. The block slowed him down. Rosenthal goes middle, and Hazan caught it in the sweet spot.
And this is exactly what I think Hawaii should do more often. Get those middles involved in different kinds of sets as well. Run the 31. Run behind the setter. Run in front of the setter. Make the other middles have to work harder.
5 serving 4 on that one. Into the net. Yeah, Ofek Hazan gives up a little bit of size, right? Usually in most middle matchups. Certainly not quite as tall as 6'10" Travell Jordan, for whom he's starting. But he can play the game of volleyball.
Yeah. And he brings other things to the table as well. Very mature. He's fought in the war, after all.
Yeah.
3 years in the Israeli army, so he brings that to the table as well.
Yeah, this is child's play.
Yeah.
This is just a game, quite literally for him.
Exactly.
He's seen things on the reel. Petrisky with another kill, so he's up to 6. That matches Louis, and now Sakonoko to serve. 6 serving 5. Took a little something off. Reed handled it well. They shoot the set outside the Reed. He goes line, got the touch. And so Jake Reed, the move by Shane Davis to go with him in the starting lineup here tonight. The more capable passer, perhaps, of the OH2 bunch.
Yeah.
And that has certainly shown through here so far.
Notice how the tempo of the set is speeding up.
What a pass there by Greenwich. Outside, here's Roars. One-on-one situation, and he was able to skip it off of the block for the kill. That's his 2nd kill. He's only had 4 attempts here tonight, no errors.
Better passing so far. That was a good serve, and Greenwich put it up right on the money.
Kazan to serve. Another good pass by Reed. Another quick set to the outside, and Reed gets kill number 4. You called it. They get the passing. All of a sudden, it is fast forward in that offensive attack.
Entirely different. Last night I asked Shane Davis before the game. I said, you guys didn't go very fast last night. What's up with that? He says, well, we couldn't pass well enough to run fast.
Well, speaking of fast, that got on Jake Reed pretty fast as Christian Tatrisky. Another smash from the opposite pin.
If I'm playing back row and Christian Tatrisky's hitting the D-ball, I'm getting out of the way in a hurry.
I'm thinking of going in and do another line of work. That was very Tatrisky-like as Sosa obliterated that set. And he is most definitely in his bag here tonight.
He's a different person tonight, don't you think?
Yeah.
Completely different player.
Saw him go over and get a quick instruction from one of the assistant coaches, former Rainbow Warrior middle blocker Dalton Solbrig, who participated in the alumni match that was played earlier in the evening. It's alumni night here in the arena. Tatriski wisely touching it off of the block and out. And again, showing the wide array of shots that he has in his arsenal for his 8th kill.
And that was the rotation 1 that Hawaii struggled with last set. And quickly moved out of it because Tatriski got him the kill.
Rohr rolls it over. Good pass there. Soa. Back row Reed. The dig by Rohr, and then look out. Sakonoko and Greenwich got tangled up. They appear to be okay.
Oh, they almost collided heads right there. It was very close.
Jake Reed balling right now. 5 kills, no errors on 9 swings. He has helped to change the look here for Loyola Chicago. He has given them a boost of confidence. What a pass by Greenwich. Middle set, a paint brush type of swing there for Todd. Bum said this is Fabikovic, dug up by Greenwich. That was nasty. Tatriski. Pancake save by McElligott. Fabi against 3 blockers, and he wins the battle. And the Ramblers jump in front 10-9.
I thought that ball was down. I didn't think he got the pancake. I mean, we can get a replay of that. Let's take a look and see. Oh. What do you think?
You can hear some reaction from some of the fans who saw the replay overhead. I think they felt like that looked a little funny as well. Christian Tatriski trying to right the ship, and he does, as is the case in most instances. That's his 13th attempt. He's got 9 kills.
He's having a Christian kind of a night again.
Just doing Tatriski things.
Yes. Hits the ball hard, playing smart.
Second team ABCA All-American selection a year ago. Missed the last 7 matches of the year.
Still makes All-American.
That's right. What a serve by Todd. It's an ace. He had a career best 3 of those last night.
Not only did he lead them in aces last night, he led them in digs as well. He had 4. You don't see middle blockers go through the back row and get 4 digs. That's for sure.
And he helped to give Hawaii that necessary jolt last night. Can he do it again? Forces the overpass, and Louis Sakonoko chooses violence, and Hawaii jumps up by 2. Timeout Ramblers. Justin Todd making it happen from the service line. The ace, and then what's just as good as an ace. The Terraflex will be rolled up, and the hardwood will be exposed for tomorrow's Rainbow Warrior basketball showdown with UC Irvine. The Anteaters coming in 5-0 in the Big West Conference. Hawaii 3-1. Always a great matchup when those 2 teams hook up. And another ace out of the timeout for Justin Todd.
What is up with his serving? It has improved so much from last year. Great concentration, good focus. He's not distracted by anything. Great routine. Same routine every time.
Had 17 aces last year. Took a little something off. Does he get another ace? Oh, McElligott able to prevent that. Hawaii, though, with the advantage. Backside to Tatriski. Blocked and roofed. A stuff by Sosa.
Sosa just adding to his stat line, Kanoa. He's unbelievable.
And this was just mano-a-mano. Sosa pounding the chest after the effort. That ended a 4-point run for Hawaii. Tread goes outside. Louis. Just sheer force through the block and down. What a second set this has been so far, C-Mac. We have seen 4 lead changes. We've also seen 10 ties already in this second frame.
You know, the 2 teams, I told you they'd be more evenly matched tonight. Last night, the first set took 27 minutes. Tonight, first set took 41 minutes.
Yeah. High toss here for Tatriski, and another service error. And his serve has been just a little bit off here this weekend.
Right now with 6 service errors total.
Lucas Anderson on the serve. Fielded by Rohr. Here's Petrisky from behind the line. And the wall was put up again on the other side. Aiden Klein jumping up next to Jake Reed. And the Ramblers loading up on Christian Petrisky right now.
Last night the Ramblers block was pretty good. They outblocked Hawaii 9-7. Tonight their block might even be better.
That one gives Hawaii its 15th point, and we'll have a timeout on the floor. Well, we were expecting high-level volleyball this weekend. We are getting it right now. Crowd on hand here tonight. Next week, Hawaii will play host to Rockhurst. We'll have that for you on Wednesday. Spectrum Sports coverage begins at 6:30. Also in the house next week, Roberts Wesleyan. And it's going to be a funky schedule, something that's pretty unprecedented. Charlie Wade has scheduled 2 matches on 2 different days next week. So Hawaii will play Roberts Wesleyan at 11 a.m. January 14th. And Rockhurst at 7 p.m. We'll have the Rockhurst match on TV. And then 2 nights later, it'll switch. Rockhurst will play Hawaii at 11 a.m. And then Roberts Wesleyan will be the nightcapper, which we will have once again on TV. So a pretty ambitious setup next week for the Rainbow Warriors. Back row, Fabi got blocked there by Hazan. Set up now Reed. 2 blockers against him. Goes wrist away. Dug up by Rohr. Back to Rohr. Pushes it off the block. Diving effort there to keep it alive by McElligott. Reed sends it across. And a diving save there by Sakanoko. Rohr. That's dug up by McElligott. So the set goes to Sosa. 3 blockers up. They slow him down. Hawaii on the attack. Over on 2 goes Tread. With one of those vintage 2-handed slam dunks for the point.
How about Louis Sakanoko getting 2 crucial digs to keep that rally alive? This Tread, he's so deceptive. See the left side blocker, Reed got his hand up, but to no avail. The middle blocker was nowhere to be found.
You see Tread keeping those hands up,
Yeah,
kind of
very deceptive.
veiling whatever intention he has.
Exactly. How about these 2 offenses this set? Hawaii hitting 438. Chicago hitting 778.
Meanwhile, the service error there by Louis, and it'll be Sosa now with the Ramblers trailing 14, serving 16. See the service error, 6-7, 6-7. Pass there by Rohr. He gets the set on the outside, locked back into the area of the court. Here's Petrisky from behind the line. Didn't put much on it. That set off the mark, but Reed made it work anyway. I mean, that looked doomed from our perspective, but Jake Reed just finding a way.
Very creative. Little sidearm, sidewinder. Great play by Jake.
15 serving 16. Pass by Rohr. Rosenthal goes D-set to Petrisky, off the block and out. And he gets to double figures. So he has reached double-figure kills in all 4 matches so far this season. And is able to atone slightly for having been roofed a couple of times here in set 2. But you can't hold that guy down for long. As Finn Kearney once again comes in to serve. Good serve. It's an overpass. Rohr's going to field it. Rosenthal goes back row. Louis is stuffed. Aiden Klein denying access.
I get the feeling they watched some video last night. They saw that Hawaii loved to do the big set in a free ball situation, and they did not go up at the middle.
Oh, and that's a tough serve. Long run for Louis. Runs out of room. It's an ace for Jake Reed. So if Alexander Sosa and Ryan McElligott were the co-authors of the fantastic set 1 performance for the Ramblers, you'd have to give this one to Jake Reed. Set 2 is tied up. 13 is the number. 13 matches for Hawaii this season against teams ranked in the AVCA preseason top 10. That's right. No easy schedule for the Rainbow Warriors as we take a look at the AVCA top 10 poll. Hawaii number 2, Loyola Chicago number 7. But Hawaii will take on Pepperdine, UCLA, UC Irvine, UC Santa Barbara, Stanford, Penn State. I mean, it's just a murderer's row, really, of some of the top teams perennially in college volleyball.
Nobody's going to choose Charlie Wade of avoiding anybody or dodging anybody that's good.
Middle set, that was a blasty blast by Aiden Klein. And these teams trading blows right now. How about the blocking numbers? Loyola Chicago has had the advantage. 6-2 overall in the match. And now blocking Hawaii 3-0 here in the second frame.
Now blocked them 9-7 last night.
Saw Shane Davis there. Record-setting setter for Loyola Chicago. 2000 to 2003, and inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame over there in 2018. Christian Tatriski from the left pin gets the kill. Shane Davis, the opportunity presented itself for him to return to Loyola Chicago when previous head coach John Hawks took over the head coaching position at UCLA. And Shane Davis saying, you know, the timing just seemed to work out.
He felt he was very lucky. Right place, right time.
D-set here, Sosa. So he is hitting with immense confidence right now. And he is all smiles for good reason. He gets to double figures in kills. He's got 10. He's hitting a fat 533.
What a difference a day makes. He's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde all rolled into one.
There's McElligott, and he serves it out. The way things have gone here with him at the service line, you could feel the crowd's anxiety when he was back there. And so an out serve, that really allows for the exhale collectively.
Exactly.
Here's Justin Todd to serve. Can he apply some pressure? Pass there by Soa. Middle set, and it is a roof. The Manoa Roofing Company scratches one here in the second, and it is Ofek Hazan jumping up next to Sakonoko. Hawaii by 2, and a timeout taken by the Ramblers. How about Ofek Hazan? Hawaii with 5 middle blockers on the roster, but seemingly down 2 here tonight. He gets the start in place of Travell Jordan. Also, Hawaii still playing without the 7-foot freshman middle Roman Payne. He has yet to play here this season. They also have Justin Todd and Alex Parks on the roster, but Ofek Hazan, who got some significant experience last year, played in 20 matches, had 13 starts, and so there is nothing that overwhelms him, and you can kind of just see it with his demeanor there.
Yeah, he loves the moment, that's for sure.
Well, with more on Ofek, we check in with Ryan Kalesuji. Ryan.
That's right, Kunal. Well, that's a player that the coaching staff for Loyola Chicago is actually talking about, is Ofek Hazan, recognizing the differences to their team between Ofek and Travell Jordan, saying that Ofek likes to hit a faster ball. So oftentimes with the middle blockers like Todd and Jordan, it's a higher set because of their contact point and how they jump. For Ofek, it's really the opposite. It's a quicker, faster paced tempo set that they're setting to him. And so the blockers for the Ramblers are just really not in system right now. And so the coaching staff really just trying to make this adjustment with this new personnel and a faster set of Hazan. Back over to you guys.
And I think they ought to keep setting Hazan just because of that reason that Ryan just gave us. Keep feeding him until Loyola figures it out.
What about the adjustment that Tread Rosenthal has to make as a setter, setting up a guy like Hazan as opposed to the long and rangy Travell Jordan?
You're very right. He's used to setting guys that are his size, around 6'10", 6'11". All of a sudden, he's got a guy that's jumping high but is not as tall, so there's a smaller window there for mistake.
21 serving 19 out of the timeout. Bobikovic with the pass, gets the set on the outside. The tip shot kept alive there by Hazan. Here's Tatriski. That one scratched the block. So the setup goes to Bobikovic. 3 blockers against him. He gets his own cover. Now the other side. It's Sosa by the double block. May have been an out ball, but it goes off of Justin Todd in the back row. And Sosa right now an unstoppable force.
It looked like it was an out ball, but I'll tell you, Sosa's just having that kind of a night.
Loyola Chicago hitting 476 at the moment in set 2. Hawaii 346. Fabakovic with the serve. Good pass there by Rohr. Middle set. Hazan sends it out. And what a job by the libero, J.J. Soa, of just getting out of the way.
Is it a matrix move?
That was the matrix right there, yes. And he's smiling ear to ear about it. The senior out of Orange, California, in modern day high school. Check this out. And an ace to follow that up by Fabakovic. And just like that, Loyola Chicago jumps in front. 5th lead change of set 2, and that prompts a Charlie Wade timeout. Oh, the pendulum swings here in this second set.
Oh, this is such a different Loyola Chicago team tonight. It's almost like they really needed, you know, a match to get warmed up, to get rid of those nerves, get used to the atmosphere here. And they've done more than their share of transferring all this new energy into a big fat stat line.
How about the contrast in performance by Alexander Sosa last night? You mentioned 9 kills, 7 errors, hit a buck 11, had 2 blocks, also had 4 service errors. And here tonight, 11 kills, just 2 errors. He's hitting .562. He's got a pair of blocks, and he has just been awesome here tonight so far.
How about the team? Their offense this set hitting .476. That's off the chart. Hawaii hitting .296. They're hanging in there around the 300 mark, which is good. But I'm telling you, Loyola Chicago's offense is really humming right now, much thanks to Sosa.
Certainly had the appearance last night that Loyola Chicago, even in certain stretches where they were making runs and scoring in small bunches, it still looked like they were playing on their heels. This has flipped here tonight. The dynamic feels different. It feels like Loyola Chicago has been the aggressor, and it's Hawaii that has been more reactionary.
No question. The Ramblers are playing with a lot of confidence. Surprisingly, because they got shellacked last night, but they came out tonight with a purpose.
Bryce Robbins enters the match, and out of the timeout, Fabakovic sends it out. No timeouts left once again for either team here down the stretch of this second set. So it will be a true race to 3. And here is Kainoa Wade. Had an ace in the first set when he entered in as a service sub. Comes in a high leverage spot here. Good turns late. That's what Charlie Wade always preaches from the service line. And it is a good serve. Pass by Fabakovic is on the money. Backside Sosa does it again.
He's hitting the high hands there instead of avoiding the block. He's challenging the block.
How good must it feel for Shane Davis to see that guy on his side of the net as opposed to on the other side in the MIVA when they go up against Quincy. Rosenthal goes outside. Louis, was there a touch? No touch. He misses wide, and it is aloha ball here for Loyola Chicago in the second. And Sakanoko with his 5th hitting error. Had just 1 through 3 matches. And it is Brad Bell serving for set 2. Rosenthal, D-set to Treesky, blocked and roofed. And Loyola Chicago goes up 2-0. And it was, guess who? Jake Reed who got most of that one. Oh, Reed is writing a good script tonight.
The ball better because Loyola is passing really well and running their fast offense.
Yeah, we were saying from what it looked like through 3 matches and certainly last night, the margin for error for Loyola Chicago and NJIT last week. It was much smaller, you would have to say, than the margin for error for Hawaii. But Hawaii's been committing a lot of errors, and to Shane Davis and the Ramblers' credit, they have certainly shrunken that margin here on night 2. And so that combo has led to now a 2-0 hole for Hawaii. Set 3 underway, but that one hit long by Aiden Klein. No touch up front is at least the call. But I think we're going to get a challenge here by Shane Davis. They're going to challenge that there was a touch. Aiden Klein and a couple of the other Ramblers on the court immediately spun towards their head coach and asked for him to issue a challenge.
We see a finger bent back there on Hazan's left hand. Hard to tell there. Might be a touch right there. Yeah, his pointer finger, I think, gets touched. And the players in the court know that immediately. Good fast challenge by Mark Nakamura, down ref.
Yeah, making the same call that you made upon looking at that replay review. So Mark Nagashima giving the point to Loyola Chicago. Successful challenge there for Shane Davis, so they keep that one. And then a tough serve there by Jake Reed. Roll shot to Treesky. Diving save Sosa. Here's the up to Fabikovic. Guarding that back line was Rohr, but it's going to be a net violation called against Hawaii. And so they're down 2-0 here to start this third frame.
That one might have been on Trent Rosenthal, I think, getting into the net a little too aggressive.
Jake Reed, what an impact he has had, sends that one long, but that second set, Jake Reed was making plays all over the court. He was able to better the ball on a bunch of occasions, and he has really injected some life into this team.
He had a block solo and 2 block assists. He had a service ace. He had 4 kills and no errors. What a stat line.
1 serving 2. Here's Louis. Easy pass that time for Fabikovic. Middle set, and Greenwich took one off the shoulder. Aiden Klein having his way here. 5 kills on 6 swings. No errors, and a couple of blocks.
So McGillicuddy's really doing a nice job of keeping the middles involved, making Hawaii's middles have to guess a little bit more about where that ball is going to go.
There's Klein on the serve. Rohr handles the pass, gets the set on the outside. The block was able to slow him down. Fabikovic cross court. Right there was Greenwich. Rosenthal sets up Adria. And now Loyola Chicago on the attack. Good job getting a piece there by Hazan. Over on 2 goes Rosenthal, but they were ready for him. Fabikovic got a piece. D-set Sosa. And the same old story. Alexander Sosa all night long has just been locked in.
He has been the Terminator. Look at him find the hole in the block, a late forming block. He's going, thank you. Thank you. I get to show my real self tonight.
That's a pass tight to the net, and the joust was won by Fabikovic. One of the rare occasions where Trent Rosenthal did not take advantage. Fabikovic was waiting and ready for that. And look at this score, C-Mac. Hawaii down 2-0 and down 5-1. Klein serving. Hawaii needs something. They need a spark. Here's to Treesky. Got a piece. And he gets kill number 12.
He's been Hawaii's one offensive leader. He's got with the 9th kill there. You know, he's got 12 now, right? Treesky?
Yes, correct. We're having a little bit of an issue with our live statistics that are in front of us as Fabikovic goes off of the block and down. The serve by McElligott. What a pass there by Louis. Adrian Rohr able to overpower that block. And it looks like they're trying to get Adrian Rohr a little bit more involved.
Through the first 2 sets, he only had 8 attack attempts. He had 2 kills, no errors, but he was working hard passing there. They're really picking on him a lot.
Hanging and banging. It's Brad Bell. And this Loyola Chicago offense is looking very well oiled here on night 2.
And very different from night 1. Look at that pass. You gotta look how doesn't he have to move his feet? Ball's passed right to him.
Rosenthal goes middle. Justin Todd drops the hammer. And it's just the tone and the tonal shift, I think, particularly from the service line, where you see Hawaii, they've gotten a bit gun shy. On the other side, Loyola Chicago, they're playing with a lead. They're feeling fresh. They're feeling loose. And they're taking confident cracks. And you're just seeing the difference here. Hawaii with service errors, and then when they are getting it in, it's just not aggressive enough to get Loyola Chicago out of their stuff.
Totally agree with you, Canoa. Totally agree. They get so conservative that Loyola Chicago is able to pass the ball easily to the center.
Down hit into the twine, and things just a little off kilter. Out of sync right now for the Rainbow Warriors. And such stark contrast to what we saw through 3 matches. And that expression by Charlie Wade speaks volumes. Backside, here's Tatriski. Block able to get a good chunk that time. Set up outside, it's Reed. Block, punched up in the air by Bobby. And this time they keep it alive. Rosenthal, backside, Tatriski. They kind of overrun that set on the approach. So now Reed, 3 blockers up, they keep it alive. Long rally here, Sosa. What a dig by Rohr. That one almost went up to the ceiling. Now Tatriski cross court and wide, no touch, and the Ramblers win a marathon point. And they're up a half dozen in the third. They've scored the last 3.
Great dig by Rohr to keep that rally alive, but the Ramblers just too steady, too consistent right now, and their offense much, much faster.
Middle set, Todd. And he's able to get that one off of the hands and out. And a much needed point here for Hawaii.
I'm going to remind people that 2 years ago, Loyola Chicago came to town and they got blistered on night number 1, 3-0, and came back night number 2 and won 3-2. So I'm sure that was in Charlie Wade's pregame speech. We got to respect this Rambler squad. They're good.
Todd, that toss was a little far out in front. And just everything feeling wobbly right now for Hawaii. Alexander Sosa, it has been his night for the Ramblers. Good serve. Adrian Rohr putting in work in serve receive. Here's Louis, and he is denied. This Rambler block is touching everything, and they're sending a whole bunch back as well.
I think it was Klein on that one, wasn't it? Wow, what a block.
So timeout, Hawaii.
And there's the guy in charge of the blocking.
Yes, that is one of his areas of expertise. And boy, have they been living up to the expectations tonight. Meanwhile, Ofek Hazan been doing his part. That's his 4th kill. Just 1 error. He also has a couple of blocks. Hawaii, though, hitting 067 right now here in set 3. The Ramblers have not committed a hitting error yet in this frame. They're hitting 545. Reed. Well, there's the hitting error. Ofek Hazan makes sure that one didn't get by.
There's that fast set to the outside, but this time you see Tread Rosenthal put his left hand into the seam, and Hazan got there and closed, and so it was a pretty solid wall.
Christian Tatriski to serve. Pass by Soa. And there's another roof. Ofek Hazan saying thou shalt not pass. And Hawaii getting a little bit of a momentum boost here. But still a very steep uphill climb And that's not going to help as Tatryski sends it long.
I thought he was going to go with the heat there. He's feeling pretty good. There's a big emotional block there. He wanted to make a longer run, tighten up this difference, but not to happen.
Jake Reed. Greenwich laying out for the pass, and then Sakonoko gets it through the block. It's fielded by Greenwich. Hawaii saying that it was passed over the net outside the antenna, and finally the whistle is blown. And so it is a Hawaii point. How about Quentin Greenwich? That's how you teach it, right? You play through the whistle, as they like to say.
Right. That's right.
Can Hawaii start applying some pressure again from the service line? It's been a little few and far between, and a lot of that has to do with the work of that guy, J.J. Soa. As Fabikovic is able to get his 6th kill. It's been a somewhat quiet night by his amazing standards, and that's because Alexander Sosa and Jake Reed have taken the lead positions.
That's right. How about Soa, though? Soa's done such a great job passing tonight, taking a lot of court, passing the ball right on the money.
Just like Greenwich did there. Here's Tatryski from behind the line, the broad jump and the smack. And he has 13 kills. He and Alexander Sosa have been dueling. They both have 13 kills apiece.
Dueling spiker. Here's one off the dome, I think. Yeah, it goes off the dome of Fabikovic.
That couldn't have felt good.
No.
D-set Sosa does it again.
Another perfect pass.
And he is dropping some bombs. Christian Tatryski is laid out on the floor. He's okay. Lets out a smile. I think he just wanted a breather. Everyone's going to get a breather because Loyola Chicago hits 15 first, and they are in control in Manoa. Welcome back, Alexander Sosa. He's been special tonight. 14 kills on 20 attempts. Just 2 errors. He's hitting .600. 3 digs, 2 blocks. He has just been sensational, and what a turnaround, what a bounce-back performance by him and this Rambler squad as a whole.
How about the offenses? Ramblers hitting .400, Hawaii hitting $176 in this set. Ramblers siding out at 81%.
And McElligott with another seed of a serve. And he winds up a Christian Tatryski dink. Now Fabikovic, his roll shot. Tatryski, the pancake save. Free ball coming over, though. The advantage here for Loyola Chicago. Backside, Sosa off the block and out. It is Groundhog Day right now at that opposite pin.
It really is. And Sosa, who struggled so much last night, looking so good tonight. A true Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde performance from one night to the other.
You could describe Hawaii in the same fashion. They've just gone the other way.
Yeah.
And that's an ace. Ryan McElligott with his 5th service ace of the night.
Let's see if Hawaii goes with 4 passers. I guess they're not. They're going with 3.
It is 17 serving 10. Outside, here's Roar, the roll shot. Again, Loyola Chicago just keeping the ball off the deck. Saved there by Tatryski. Rosenthal goes D-set. Tatryski, no blockers to be seen. And a much-needed point again delivered by number 10 from that right side.
Well, he's dug a big hole, though, down 17-11 against a team that's hitting the ball a 400 clip. I think Hawaii's got to maybe do it from behind the service line. What do you think?
Yeah, and that just hasn't quite felt like they've been surging with confidence there. And again, a lollipop-like serve there from Rosenthal. Good layout save by Sakonoko, and then Roar is blocked. Cross-court bump set. This is Tatryski. 2 blockers waiting for him. It winds up back on the Rambler side. Back row, and it's hit wide. They said maybe just a little low there for Jake Reed. And Hawaii able to dodge a minor BB. And now Louis Sakonoko holding on to that right elbow. Maybe on that extension, yeah, you see grimacing in pain as we return to live action, and we return to Alexander Sosa action.
He's everywhere. As your dad like you say, ubiquitous.
Yes,
He's
yes.
everywhere.
Seemingly everywhere.
Yeah.
Here's Fabakovic. And that hit the Terraflex. Another ace. That is the 8th ace of the match for Loyola Chicago. And Charlie Way going to signal for a timeout. The fans are shocked. The Ramblers are rolling. Welcome back, Shane Davis. Taking his team to the NCAA tournament again last season. They won the MIVA tournament for the 4th time. First time since 2015. When he has been atop this program, they have been really good. And tonight, an example of what they're capable of, perhaps. And it is look out not just in the MIVA, but perhaps further down the road as well, as Justin Todd rises high and lays the lumber. But Hawaii still trailing by 6.
I guarantee you Shane Davis will be saying, now this is the team I'm familiar with. I've been coaching all the fall.
Hawaii leading the all-time series 14-3. They split in Honolulu back in 2024, as mentioned. And all but one of the matchups have come in Honolulu. And that's going to be a point for Loyola Chicago on the violation against Hawaii.
Net violation, I think Sakanoko might have been into the net.
Yeah, that's Sakanoko on the blocking error, and give another kill to Sosa. He's up to 17. Here's Aiden Deloria. Pass by Rohr. Rosenthal backside to Treesky. He keeps working. But Hawaii can't just trade blows here at this stage of set 3.
That's what men's volleyball really is. Men's volleyball is a side-out game. You don't see many long streaks, except for the ones that Loyola's had tonight.
Yeah, they found a way to do it. And now Justin Todd getting ready to serve. Loyola Chicago will be traveling to Stanford and UCLA for their next 2 matches. Justin Todd delivers another ace, so he matches his career high of 3 aces, which he set last night, and it does force a Loyola Chicago timeout. Hawaii within 5. It's not Pau yet by any means, but this has just been a Loyola Chicago team that Hawaii has had a hard time chasing down here tonight.
I think Shane Davis has seen enough of Justin Todd because he just serves 1 ace and calls an immediate timeout. Does not want Justin to get into any kind of a rhythm like he did last night when he was going on that ace-a-thon.
So as you start to digest what we have seen here in this match, and this 3rd set is not over yet, but in evaluating this Hawaii team from night 1 here in this series to night 2, obviously Loyola Chicago playing much better and a much sharper version of themselves. Yeah. But what happened on the Hawaii side of the net, would you say?
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure. I think you described it earlier when you said, what's up with the serving? Why is it so inconsistent? A lot of lollipops. You know, not enough aggression. And I think that at some point they felt like they had to keep the ball in play. It worked last night, so why not tonight? But it's not working tonight when you serve it too easy. And the other got to give a lot of credit to J.J. Soa for his passing tonight. He's taken a lot of court and allowed McGillicuddy to really run a good offense.
Yeah, the insertion of Jake Reed as a starter.
Exactly.
The more capable passer of that outside hitter 2 grouping. That seemed to also impact the game. And so the better passing led to a much more efficient and maybe recognizable, if you're Shane Davis, Loyola Chicago offense.
They were much more motivated, I think, tonight. They didn't. Sure. They knew they weren't themselves last night. So we got to show up tonight and be ourselves, the ones we've been playing like all fall.
Yeah, they got pushed around a little last night. And I think Hawaii feeling pretty good about that, obviously, against what is undeniably a really good program. But Loyola Chicago seems to have overnight decided, you know what, let's try to see if we can do some of the pushing here tonight. And they've done just that.
Yeah. And there's been their hero of the night right there, if you were to pick one.
Pass by Sakonoko. Rosenthal going to go backside to Treesky. And he gets it in. Well, they'll just go to Christian Tetrisky as many times as possible and just see if they can start chipping away here.
15 kills so far for Christian.
It looks like we're going to have a service sub, and it looks like Kainoa Wade is going to come in to serve. And he has the capability, with his efficiency from the service line, to at least get it in. We have seen some really high quality serves from Kainoa Wade here this weekend. Served the last 5 points of the match last night. That one tickles the tape, but right there is Soa. D set, Sosa crawls over onto the Hawaii side. Middle set, Hazan with the quick bounce. Soa the diving save. High and away, this is Reed blocked back. Soa gonna go to Sosa. Blocked and is bumped over the net. So Hawaii trying to attack. Hazan is dug up by Sosa layout style. Bump set left side, Reed. Cross court and wide, and Hawaii wins a lengthy one.
Finally, Hawaii wins a long rally. I think it's maybe the first or second one they've won tonight. Most of those long rallies have gone the way of the Ramblers.
Kainoa Wade, the sophomore out of Kamehameha Kapalama. Played a lot of volleyball in the offseason. Roll shot fielded by Hazan. Outside Louis. The set a little tall. He extended for it. Good effort there by Greenwich. How about the ping pong match going on right now? McGilligan on two. From his wallet, Wade the save. Here's Sakonoko. Cross court. And wide. But they get the touch. No, it's a net violation against the Ramblers. And Hawaii wins that marathon point.
Oh, man. What a rally. How about Kainoa Wade sitting down and passing the last one?
And then it just went back and forth. They were playing pickleball for a while out there. And Hawaii able to hang tough. The crowd loving it. The Rainbow Warriors, got to give them credit. Easily could have chosen to just pack it in and say, hey, look, it's not our night here.
Yeah.
We're down 2-0. We're down big in the third. But they are still efforting to try to see if they can extend this match. Let's check in with Ryan. What's up?
Hey, thanks, Kono. Well, here on the Loyola sideline, the coaching staff are really just trying to preach patience and a sense of calm here. They realize that they have the advantage and they just have to stick to the game. But one thing that they're trying to do is just take this crowd out and not allow Hawaii to get points off their errors. They want to play much cleaner, just how, and it's essentially how they got to this point. On the Hawaii sideline, attention to that right elbow off Louis Sakonoko, which happened earlier in this set when he went for a diving save off a pass. He actually had sort of a blister on his elbow, but it's slowly become more and more of a nuisance. He continues to get a little treatment during these timeouts, but no doubt Louis Sakonoko diving all over the court, making it a little more difficult for himself, but trying everything he can to stay in it. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, the issue with his elbow doesn't seem to be hurting his arm swing, that's for sure, but in some of those diving attempts and making contact with the floor, that's where we have seen him express a little bit of discomfort.
This is a big serve right now.
Yeah.
After timeout, does he get aggressive? Does he roll one in? I think Kainoa's going to go for it here. He knows that Hawaii's got to keep the momentum up.
He took something off. The net also slowed it down. Reed cross court. Right there is Greenwich. Rosenthal D-set to Wade. And Kainoa Wade is making a difference right now. Hawaii has scored 4 in a row.
play. Great set from Fred Rosenthal as well.
19 serving 21. And that one stays on the Hawaii side. And Wade will remain out there. Loyola Chicago 3 points away from finishing this deal. Pass by Rohr is a beauty. Back row, it's Ward. Dug up by Reed. That was a beauty. And then McElligott on 2. What a difference Jake Reed has made for this Rambler defense.
Last night, those digs were going awry. Pulling the setter off the net. Tonight, going right to the setter and running plays.
Rosenthal, D-set. Here's Wade. And he got a touch and the kill. So a couple of good swings for Kainoa Wade on that opposite pin. But now Hawaii needs to score. Louis Sakanoko needs to get this serve in. Hawaii now hitting .312 here in the third. Sakanoko had to take something off. Easy pass for Sosa. The block slowed him down. D set, here's Wade. And he comes through again.
He's only, is he 19 now? What do you think? Has he gotten to 20 yet? I don't think he has. And he's still growing, by the way.
Yeah.
He and Rosenthal having a contest to 7 feet, I think.
Yeah. 21 serving 23. Oh, what a serve. D set, Sosa, blocked it right. Ofek Hazan, Adrian Rohr, say ole. And Hawaii has fought back to within 1.
Loyola out of timeouts. Hawaii out of timeouts. We'll play it out from here.
Largest lead for the Ramblers in the third was 7. Roll shot. Soa kept it off the floor. Bobikovic dug up by Sakanoko. Hassan grazed the block. McElligott goes outside. Bobikovic dug up again by Louis. Long run for Rosenthal. Decent Wade. Misses long. Hawaii thought it was in. And Charlie Wade, who does have a challenge remaining, is going to go ahead and challenge this. I don't know if you even have a choice at this point.
He's got a challenge, absolutely. I thought the ball that was hit over the net, their attempted pancake, I thought, was...
So that may be what Charlie Wade is discussing, whether or not to challenge the pancake on the serve or challenge the in-out on the hit by Wade. Or whether there was a touch even on that swing by Wade. So
how about all of them?
Yeah, a lot to peel off of this onion here for Mark Nakashima across the way. All right, so Mark Nakashima going to scroll through this footage.
It will either be 24-22 or 23 off.
Yeah, which would be something. As mentioned, Hawaii trailing by as many as 7 here in the third.
I thought it was down. We'll see. Right here. That ball's down. It's all floor.
Yeah, that looks down.
That was all floor. Yeah. See how much floor it is? It's a little bit of hand, but it's got floor. When it gets floor like that, it's automatically not good. We'll see.
That's a heck of an effort by Soa, who has handled some laser beam serves here tonight.
Well, he's played so well.
See, that angle makes it look a little bit more questionable. That angle makes it look like he may have gotten that spatula underneath, but that angle makes it look different. And the call is down. And this crowd is engaged.
Regardless of the final score, what a comeback Hawaii has made here in this third set.
Tied for the first time. 23 all in the third. Pass by Soa. McElligott goes outside. Pavikovic. Rosenthal got a piece. Greenwich with the cross-court bump set. Wade against 3 blockers. It's Reed guarding the back line. McElligott D-set. It's Sosa the tip. Right there is Rosenthal diving style. Sakanoko goes to Roar. He's blocked back. Kept alive by Greenwich. Back to Roar. Through the block, and now Loyola Chicago on the attack. Pavikovic dug up on his knees by Sakanoko. D-set Wade. What enough by Soa. Pavikovic again off the block. Greenwich keeps it alive, but not for long, as finally it is put down, and the Ramblers get to 24. My goodness, what a display.
I'll tell you, how about J.J. Soa keeping that rally extended again?
Aloha ball for a sweep on the road here for Loyola Chicago. Aiden Klein, who had the finisher on that long rally, awaiting the whistle to serve. Louis Sakanoko taking some moments to tie his shoelace. Now we're ready to go. The crowd trying to get into the ear of Aiden Klein. Pass by Louis is a good one. Rosenthal out to Roar, and he bounces it. And we're tied at 24, and we're deuces in the third.
Well, all of those fans who showed up tonight, who felt like maybe a little bit disappointed because Hawaii didn't play so well and Loyola Chicago played terrific, are now being treated to quite the comeback.
Yeah, there were some people that left early. 24 all. Pass by Reed is perfect. Sosa blocked back. And roofed!
Alexander Sosa has played so well all night long. Hawaii finally got the block on it.
And many here in the arena to their feet here. Hawaii trying to extend the match. Aloha ball in the third. Pass by Reed. Middle set. The block there by Todd. High ball. Pavikovic. Rosenthal getting the gist of it. And this match is not over. We play on. After an all-time rally. Hawaii coming back from down 7 in the third to stay alive against the Ramblers.
Maybe tightening up on him just a little bit. He'll put on a back brace now, I think. That's what he's doing right now.
Well, he's been putting in work tonight. 32 attempts for Christian Detriski, 16 kills, hitting 312. A fantastic match overall, but you're right. I think the back-to-back nature and now a demanding match, I think that's something that Charlie Wade and his coaching staff will keep an eye on. Meanwhile, Wade gets blocked and roofed to start set 4. Pavikovic jumping up next to Klein. And kind of Wade's first hitting error here after being sizzling hot down the stretch in the third. Hawaii way out of system here. High ball set, it's Sakanoko, and he's roofed. 3 Ramblers up. And 2 blocks here to start set 4. And just when you thought all the momentum was on Hawaii's side, right? How disheartening that must be for Loyola Chicago to have given up a 19-12 lead. But those 2 blocks kind of pull it right back on their side. Make it 3 blocks. It's a block party here to start the 4th for the Ramblers.
Once again, it's the aggressive serving by the Ramblers, forcing Hawaii into some bad passes, pulling Rosenthal off the net every single time. There's been no middle attack whatsoever. There's a better pass.
That time a good one by Roar. Here's Louis, cracks it off the block. And Louis Sakanoko up to 11 kills. He does have 8 hitting errors, but also 7 digs and a couple of blocks plus a service ace. They could use 1 or 2 of those here. 10 digs for Quentin Greenwich. That's a new high for him here in his young University of Hawaii career. stand out a little bit on Louis.
I think they know they've got to serve aggressively, that's for sure. And so along with some aggressive serving, there's going to be some errors along the way.
Pass by Greenwich over the net, joust up there, kept alive by Wade. Middle set, Hazan, and that's going to be a kill. And that was a very tight and compact operation on the Hawaii side of the net.
It really was. Good thing Hazan is a quick jumper. He just pogo sticked up for that one.
One of the things that he has taken to in his time in Hawaii, loves hanging out at the beach, loves poke bowls, but who doesn't really? Once you experience them. That one touchdown with a little love and tenderness by Daniel Fabikovic. Remember, Loyola Chicago dealing with not having one of their arms, and Josh Schellinger, the transfer from UC San Diego. Some Hawaii fans will remember him in the battles between Hawaii and the Tritons, as that one is hit out by Brad Bell. Hawaii playing without Robin Payne tonight. Also, we have not seen Travell Jordan. He did suit up, but has been donning the jacket here along the bench area throughout this match. A little bit of a maintenance move, perhaps. And knuckled over by Fabikovic. Advantage Hawaii. Middle set, Todd. Oh, that was perfect.
And it all started with a great serve by Rosenthal that forced a bad pass. Setter pulled off the net beyond the 3-meter line. And that's what Hawaii needs to do more, get their setter off the net.
That connection was right on the mark. Meanwhile, that block was on the mark. Adrian Rohr with the solo stuff.
One-on-one. The setter, the hitter, normally has the advantage there. But not that time. Adrian Rohr had the advantage. 5 blocks tonight. That's a good blocking night for him, to be sure.
So we're tied at 5 here in the 4th. Outside, that is Sosa. There's Sakanoko on the save. Here's Rohr, had to go with the left hand, got blocked back, got his own cover. Wade off of 1 foot, and he's denied. Loyola Chicago already with 4 blocks here in set 4.
Last night they outblocked the Bows 9-7. And tonight the number is 13-9.
Hawaii's block has kind of awakened here a little bit as well at this mid-stage of the match and late in that 3rd frame, but still chasing Loyola Chicago in that category. But we're tied at 6 here. Hawaii and Loyola Chicago both hitting in the negatives right now early in the 4th. And Rohr tried to go for that deep corner, and it is wide. One line judge obviously watching the baseline said it was in because it wasn't long, but down the line it was wide. And on 2 knees, Rohr with the pass, and then Justin Todd sends it long. Third hitting error for Todd.
Hawaii's offense has been a little wobbly tonight. I'm not sure. I think a lot of it has to do with the low block.
Easy pickings there on the overpass. Aiden Klein. And Loyola Chicago up 3, having scored the last 3. 7 put down for Klein, hitting 600. Some gaudy percentages on the Rambler side of the net. Rohr goes to Sakanoko. French connection. Delivers again.
Once again, Hawaii's passes aren't as accurate as they need to be in order to run a good offense. And Loyola's taking advantage by putting up a good block because they know where the set's going to be going.
And now you start to consider some of the endurance aspects of the game, right? This is very early on in the season. First weekend of action for Loyola Chicago. Hawaii playing past 3 sets for the first time, and that starts to become a factor.
Exactly, and they're just going past the 2-hour mark right now. So we'll see if condition is an issue.
Pass by Sakonoko, that's an overpass, and it drops in! McElligott looked like he was going to try to take a swing at it and then bailed out at the last moment, and it bounces in for a good old BK.
BK, a bump kill. I think he thought it was going to go out, or he thought, I don't know, like Kainoue did a float serve there. His jump serve's been so good.
Long serve. 11 serving 8. Here's Jake Reed. Rosenthal going to go outside to Louis. Did he get a touch? No, didn't get a touch. They're going to say that's an out ball. Thought you could hear the remnants of a touch, at least from our position. And so Sakonoko and Rohr asking Charlie Wade to issue the challenge. Won the last one, so he still has one to use, and he's going to challenge that no-touch call. Again, in real time, thought we could perceive just a slight sound of a touch.
There it was right there.
Yeah, that middle finger.
Yep. Yep, definitely a touch. Louis knew it. I'll tell you, the blocker knew it. What's surprising was that was about 6 feet from the R1, but he didn't know it. Here comes the touch call.
There it is. So it goes from 12-8 to 9-11. And when you are down 2 sets to 1, that is a huge difference.
It is.
Louis Sakonoko, one of 5 returning starters this year for this Hawaii team. Pass by Reed. D-set Sosa. Hits it long. Was there a touch? No touch. Hawaii within 1.
But once again, Loyola Chicago getting passes that are inside the 3-meter line, which is allowing their setter to run an offense. Unlike Hawaii, Hawaii's passes have mostly been beyond the 3-meter line.
Serving 11.
Another good pass.
Middle set, touched over. Good reaction there by Greenwich. Here's Rohr. Blast it to the far corner. And we're all square at 11 apiece in the 4th.
What a swing by Rohr, who hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities tonight. It's only his 19th swing. In 4 sets by now, if he's normally he'd have like 30.
Oh, he went for it, and he got it!
That's why he's such a fan favorite, with shots like that.
This one has some fire on it. Some extra chili pepper water. Hawaii up 1.
On 27 swings, he's got 8 digs. He's passing a lot of the court.
Team leader in digs on the season. Took something off, got it in though. Outside, that is Babakovic. The dig there by Rohr. Bumset goes back to Rohr, skips it off the block. Good protection there on the back line by Reed. Kick shot, easy save, Wade. Advantage, Hawaii. Back row, Louis. Got it to go. Hawaii up 2. Sakonoko strikes again.
And so does the French flag. Look at Sakonoko coming out of the back row. Quick approach, 2 blockers up, and he manages to work around that block. Pretty amazing.
15 kills now for Louis. 13-11. And that one just missed the end line.
Not by much.
There are fans at that end of the arena that are saying that it was in. Ooh, I don't know.
Very close.
think we're going to get a challenge. This could be the fan assist if this is ruled in. And look, does it get a piece of the line?
Oh, it looks like it does. Looks like it does.
You had a whole lot of line judges over there in section DD, the lower bowl of the arena.
Oh, man.
Does it get a piece of the line? Looks like it might have just gotten about a fingernail's worth.
Well, Mark Nakashima's been on it tonight, making fast calls, making accurate calls. So I expect that he will resolve this fairly quickly.
Loyola Chicago celebrating its 30th anniversary as a volleyball program. The Ramblers adopting that nickname back in the 1920s when their football team traveled extensively across the United States. What they were described as having been rambling from place to place for games that earned them the nickname the Ramblers, and it stuck.
How about when the school started? 1870. Wow.
They're going to say the call stands, not enough evidence to overturn, according to Mark Nakashima. Now, we had that one look. Of course, Mark's working with not just the Spectrum Sports camera angles, but also the DV Sports Cam static camera positions. Did not see anything that was enough evidence to overturn. Maybe a bit of a surprise for some. Meanwhile, Kainoa Wade able to get it right back for Hawaii. What'd you think on that review there, C-Mac? Was there enough evidence based on the replay, at least, that we had at our disposal to have justified overturning the out goal?
I thought there was, and I thought, I'm not sure that Mark went to all the cameras that he has access to. If he had, I think he would have seen that our camera showed there was pretty good evidence that that ball caught some white line.
Ben Kearney now to serve. Hawaii up 2. Oh, that's going to get the Ramblers out of system. Free pass coming over the net. Rosenthal, D-set to Wade. Oh, what a dig there by Reed. Outside, Bobikovic hits it wide, but got a touch.
Once again, how about the dig by Jake Reed to keep that rally alive for the Ramblers? They win another long rally.
Reed has been something else tonight.
I know Wade had an open net. Couldn't get it down.
Pass by Greenwich. Outside, here's Rohr. And is able to put it down in front of Jake Reed. And Hawaii gets the 15 first in the fourth. The Rainbow Warriors look dead in the water in the third. And now all of a sudden they're up 2 in the fourth. Attendance tonight, tickets issued 6,671 through the turnstile, 5,811. Now, I would say some people decided when Hawaii was down 7 in the third, down 2 sets to none, to just up and leave. They might be regretting that now if they're still paying attention to what's happening. Hawaii able to rally and win the third. Here they are up 2 in the fourth. On the attack, and Todd punches it long. Just a missed opportunity. We've seen a few of those here for Hawaii in this fourth set.
Yeah, that set was a little behind Todd. I think he might have been rushing in a little bit early too on his approach. Not sure, but clearly the two offenses that slowed down. Right now, Loyola Chicago hitting 0.
Kelligett goes to Sosa and crawls over onto the Hawaii side. Rosenthal going to go out to Wade. It'll be played back. Here's Reed, 3 blockers up. Sakonoko the save off of the touch. Rohr 2 hands it down the line, but it was read by Soa. And now the team's playing it off of the net. Kept alive there by Rosenthal. Back row, Bobikovic wet enough there by Louis. Oh, and that set winds up way out of play as Greenwich with the 2 hands wasn't able to control it, trying to set up Wade on the left hand.
That rally for Hawaii was played like 6 inches off the ground. Greenwich normally very, very sure-handed. Unusual for him to make an error like that.
So here's Bobikovic. We are knotted up at 15. Greenwich on the first touch. Right side, it's Roar. Finds the open floor. Man, this has turned into an absolute battle of grit. And a measurement of who can reach down for some added intestinal fortitude here. Who's got the most mana?
It's all about perseverance and passion.
Sosa, 3 blockers up. On one knee, dug up there by Roar. Bump set Greenwich. Here's Sakanoko, 2 hands it down the line. It is saved by McElligott. Sosa, 3 blockers again. 1 hand sliding, saved by Roar. Saved by Rosenthal, at least centered, and now we play on. Back row, Fabekovic. Good layout, save Rosenthal, just above the net. The swing by Reed, off the block and down, and he does it again. When all the odds appeared to be against Loyola Chicago, they squeak out a point, and we are tied again. And many of the fans, as much as they applaud both teams' efforts, they are, I think, applauding begrudgingly, feeling like, how did Hawaii not win that point?
You've got to give a lot of credit to Jake Reed. Taking that aggressive swing off a misplayed ball. He's 6'8", 10 feet off the net, and gets a winner. That was terrific.
7 kills, 7 digs, 3 blocks for Jake Reed. Delorier on the serve, and it's a service error.
Let's see if Hawaii can get the setter to be off the net with their serve. They've been unable to do that all night long.
And you got Justin Todd, had 3 aces last night, 3 tonight. Can he apply some pressure? Not against Reed, that's for sure. Back row, Fabekovic.
Oh,
That's a detonation.
That was a back row quick. That ball was set very low. And Fabekovic, such an athletic figure. Look at him coming out of the back row. And Hawaii's block just could not get there.
Fabekovic taking like a bit of a back seat, you would have to say, to Sosa and maybe even Jake Reed for a lot of this match, but he's now asserting himself. Here's Sakanoko. What a save, Soa. Pancake attempt by Sosa, 4-0. And give the kill to Louis. That was about as much TNT as Louis Sakanoko could muster.
It was. That was detonation time. Louis asked for the inside set, not a set out to the pin. He asked for an inside set there, got it, and found a seam in the block.
18 serving 17. Here's Wade. Handled by Fabekovic. Outside Reed. Good diving second touch. Rosenthal's been all over the court. Middle set, and that's blasted off the hands there by Klein. Man, they come at you from so many angles.
They've got a very sophisticated offense, a very fast offense, and a very tall offense in the middle.
Yeah.
2 6'9"ers in the middle. High contact point. By the way, they've also got a 7'2" on the bench, in case you want to go even taller.
Yeah, they have a freshman from Denmark, Oscar Berg Mikkelsen. Yet to play. There he is. He's 7'2".
He's getting more airtime than we do.
Yeah, he's seeing himself on the big screen above and looking at himself almost eye to eye. Rosenthal, D-set. Here's Wade. What a cover there off the block by Rosenthal. Louis tried to go over the block, but he came into the net, or at least crossed the line. And so the violation gives the point to Loyola Chicago. So they jump in front by 1, 19 serving 18. Who's going to blink first here in this fourth frame?
If Hawaii should lose this point, Charlie Wade, I think, has got to call an early timeout. They can't let too much separation go. Talking about, Fred Roosevelt's talking about the under call, the line violation by Louis Sakanoko. And I thought it was a good call by Mark Nakashima. When Louis went under, he was definitely had other feet in the way where it could have been a dangerous play.
So here's Jake Reed on the serve. Pass by Greenwich is a good one. Middle set, Hazan blocked back. Greenwich the cover. Outside Louis against a double block. They slowed him down. On the attack, it's the Ramblers. Fabekovic deposits it. And Loyola Chicago is up 2. Hawaii still with 2 timeouts left. The Ramblers with 1. Charlie Wade will use one. We'll take a chance to catch our breath as well. Welcome back. There is your scenario. Loyola Chicago up 2-1 and up 2 points here in the fourth.
The two offenses have disappeared, hitting 161 and 167 respectively. It's become a battle of attrition.
Yeah, trying to crawl across the finish line. Who's going to finish in first? Way down the line. Another save by Soa. He has been tremendous. Fabakovic, meanwhile, hits it into the net. And the hitting error gives Hawaii its 19th point. Soa up to 12 digs. That matches the dig total for Quentin Greenidge on the other side. You also have Louis Sakonoko, double-double, 16 kills, 11 digs. And Ryan McElligott, double-double himself, 37 assists and 11 digs. 19 serving 20, the toss by Louis. Left it out in front a little bit, had to take something off. That's hit, punched up in the air by Rohr. He'll get the set on the outside, grazed the block, one-hand save Sosa. McElligott the swing, cross-court and wide. And we are tied again at the 20-point mark.
The twists and turns of this match are pretty amazing. Looks like there's going to be a challenge. I think they're going to. Shane Davis thinks that the swing by McElligott was in, not out.
So we'll take a look at this. Mark Nakashima has been a busy man here over the last, I don't know, hour and a half or so.
Yeah.
Ryan McElligott. You know, that's something that Shane Davis told us about, that he's been talking with his setter to be more aggressive, to sort of, as he put it, come out of his shell. And that was one of those ripe opportunities. It was a third touch, and so he had really no other choice but to try to attack it. But it was very quickly confirmed an out ball there by Mark Nakashima.
Yeah. That was a big play, because had it been overruled, it would have been 21-19 now instead of 20-all.
You always talk about this. This is the drill, right? 20-all, race to 5.
Every day in practice.
One timeout on each side remaining. Can Hawaii force a fifth? Loyola Chicago goes up 1.
Louis Sakonoko, as well as he's played, as well as he's served tonight, he's struggled. That's now his. He's got 5 service errors.
That pass tight to the net, and it is put down by Fabakovic, winning a joust. And just like that, the Ramblers are 3 points away from pulling this one off.
I'd call another timeout if I was Charlie Wade.
He will. Right on cue. Well, what, you're going to talk things over. Now, a couple of things to parse here, right? The fact that the Rainbow Warriors were able to pull off a little bit of that Manoa magic in the third, right? To pull off that kind of come-from-behind victory speaks volumes about the fortitude of this team. And here they are now facing a similar situation, backs against the proverbial ropes. How are they going to be able to dig themselves out of this and see if they can preserve this match and force a fifth? Let's check in with Ryan. What's up?
Hey, thanks, Kuno. Well, one player who we are not seeing this weekend is Josh Schellinger, the transfer from UCSC, a player who's very familiar with this arena. He is not, he's suited up and has been warming up, but they've chosen to and elected to keep him out of these matches. But one of the things that he's doing is he's been going over during the timeouts and talking to Fabakovic about what he's seeing. Of course, Schellinger at times has caused nightmares for this Hawaii team when he was playing for UCSC, familiar with the personnel, familiar with a lot of the hitting tendencies. And so he's sharing what he's seeing from the bench and also his experience playing this team with his fellow teammate. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, from Bloomingdale, Illinois. Spent 4 years at UC San Diego, was an AVCA All-American honorable mention last year, averaging 3.1 kills per set. And so they're holding him out for some maintenance purposes as well. And that's just going to be another added arm to the fray and another option at that OH2 position.
Exactly, yeah. He's a graduate student. He's bringing a lot of experience to the table. And it's great to hear that he's helping out his fellow players even though he's out.
So Aiden Klein will serve. Pass by Rohr. He'll get the set on the outside against the double block. Got the touch, gets the kill. Adrian Rohr has not committed a hitting error. He has 8 kills on 25 swings. And he is also a guy who has put in 9 digs and how about a handful of blocks for Adrian Rohr?
And he's been passing half the court.
21 serving 22. Hawaii got to get these serves in. D set Sosa. And he got it down.
Once again, some really good passing by the Ramblers. Passing the ball inside the 3-meter line so that their setter, McGillicuddy, doesn't have to move very much. They can run a really fast offense. It's very different from last night.
23 serving 21. That will help Hawaii's cause. Back within one. Now, Tread Rosenthal, he has been jump floating and kind of serving these lollipop knuckles here tonight, C-Mac.
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why McGillicuddy missed that serve. He's got 5 aces tonight with this jump serve.
Here's Babakovic through the hands of Louis. What an effort by Rosenthal. And we play on. That was magnificent. Back row Reed hits it out. We're tied at 23. And big number 13 with one of the plays of the year already.
Look at this reach. How about that reach? What a save to keep that rally alive. Amazing.
Man, this crowd, they are here for that. They show up for that brand of effort, and Tread Rosenthal gave it to him.
You know, Tread talked earlier this week about what really helped him get better over the summer. Well, certainly he played in a lot of international tournaments, but playing time, having time in the national team gymnasium in Anaheim really helped him the most, he said. He said, you got to see how those guys pay attention to detail. That was a detail moment right there where he just gave up his body and kept the ball alive in that rally. And we're normally, you know, he's a blocker, he's a big guy, he hits, he sets, but does he play defense like that? That's the biggest difference I've seen in his game so far in this very short year so far.
It was 2 years ago when Hawaii opened the season here at home against Loyola Chicago that Tread Rosenthal made his University of Hawaii debut as a 17-year-old freshman. And remember, Hawaii pulled off the sweep on night 1. You mentioned they lost in 5 on night 2. In night 2, though, Tread Rosenthal set what is his career high with 58 assists that night. And here we are, fast forward 2 years, a much more physically developed, a much more emotionally and mentally developed Tread Rosenthal back to serve in what has been a thrilling match, tied at 23 in the 4th.
You know, a true leader of this team. I think I'm going to see something wrong with his jump serve. That's why he's running that floater. Well, let's see if he floats again. Let's see if he can float it away and have anybody else but Soa pass it.
We're tied for the 9th time here in the 4th. Handled by Reed. Oh, that set goes over the net, but it is touched out by Wade. Oh, the set was off the mark, and Wade with an opportunity to just touch it down, but he missed the floor, and it is aloha ball for Loyola Chicago. No timeouts left for either team. And Fabikovic will serve for the match. Pass Greenwich is a beauty. Backside, Rohr through the block and down, and it's not over yet. This Rainbow Warrior team just keeps on fighting.
And once again, they've the Loyola Ramblers have got that passing crew of Fabikovic and Soa and Reed, who've been so solid all night long and have been such terrific passers. Let's see if they can pass this Rohr serve.
Adrian Rohr, 2 aces on the season. Just makes sure he gets it in there. Backside, Sosa. Dug up by Rosenthal. So Rohr goes to Louis. Slowed down by the block. Saved by Soa. Back row, Fabikovic rattles the cage and gets it down. Aloha ball again for Loyola Chicago.
They love to set that back row quick, and Fabikovic, even though they get two blockers up, Fabikovic is so good, has such great peripheral vision. He goes around the block and down.
Here's the serve by Brad Bell, and he serves it long. We're tied again.
This is just like deja vu all over again from set number 3, right, Kanoa? Didn't it go this far?
Well, it was 26-24 in the third. We're playing extras here in the fourth. Justin Todd. It stays on the Hawaii side of the net. A service error at a most inopportune moment. And now it will be Alexander Sosa, who has been the standout swinger all night. 19 kills, will try to finish it. Third match point. On one knee, the pass by Rohr. Right side, Wade. One hand save Soa. That was brilliant. Here's Reed. 3 blockers up. Greenwich off the ricochet. Quick reset. Louis able to swipe it off the block. Sakonoko does it again. Is able to pull a rabbit out of his hat. And we're tied at 26.
Oh, my goodness. How does Louis do it? And he goes, looked like he might have held on to the ball for a while there and redirected it. I think that's what the coaches from Loyola are contesting, but that's not a challengeable call.
Sakonoko with 17 kills to lead Hawaii. Wade to serve, tied at 26. It's a good serve. Sosa will set. Sets it to Reed, blocked. Kept alive by Soa. Back to Reed a second time. Down the line and in. What a shot.
At 6'4", their smallest attacker. The boys, he got the job done tonight. Jake Reed, 9th kill.
And it is another match point. Rosenthal goes outside. Louis! Back and forth we go, deep into the night on a Friday in Manoa.
Well, the big question is, does Louis bring out the heater, or is he going to bring out the slow roller?
18 kills and 12 digs for Louis Sakonoko. The high toss. Into the net. That is Hawaii's 20th service error tonight.
Very uncharacteristic for them to have that many.
And the 5th match point now for Loyola Chicago. Rosenthal goes middle. Hassan is blocked and roofed, and this one is over. Loyola Chicago flips the script on night 2. And they take it in 4. 29-27 in the 4th.
Got to give them a lot of credit. They played some terrific volleyball tonight, especially in the passing area. They made it easy for them. The Delegates to set a much faster offense tonight, make it difficult for Hawaii's blockers. And got to give them a lot of credit. The coaching staff did a lot of film watching too. They knew where Hawaii was going to hit the ball before they hit it.
It was a spirited effort by this Rainbow Warrior squad. Down 7 in the 3rd. It looked like it was over. That was a wrap, but an unimaginable comeback to force a 4th set. And then the opportunities were there, C-Mac.
Yeah.
But ill-timed service errors, ill-timed miscues cost Hawaii what could have been an opportunity to push it to a 5th. But give Shane Davis and this Ramblers team a whole lot of credit. They were, as advertised, a formidable national championship type of contender squad.
Yeah.
Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Alexander Sosa He led everybody on the floor with 19 kills, hit 378, 3 blocks, and 6 digs. Louis Sakonoko turned it on late in the match when it mattered the most. 18 kills, hit 243, 2 blocks, 12 digs, and 2 aces. We're awaiting an opportunity to get a word with Charlie Wade. I think he is going to appreciate most certainly his team's effort here tonight, not packing it in, not quitting. They showed the kind of warrior spirit and fight that Charlie Wade most certainly wants to see, but it wasn't enough to take down this Rambler team that had vengeance on their minds, and they deliver Hawaii its first January loss since the last time Loyola Chicago won here in this building in 2024. Scott Robbs is with Charlie Wade.
Coach, tough one here tonight. It seemed like the Ramblers were answering everything you guys were trying to give them.
Yeah, they played great. Hats off to them. You know, they're just a little crisper, especially in those first 2 sets. You know, we had leads and we got ball back on our side early in set 1, like a few times, just couldn't convert. You know, and against a good team, you can't give up those kind of opportunities. I thought we learned a lot about ourselves today, and you got to love the fight, for sure. I mean, we kept battling the whole way, and just needed to be a little better. And like I said, hats off to Loyola. It touched a lot of balls in the front row blocking, and they played well.
Now you only have 2 more matches at home, and you're gone for like a month and a half. Your thoughts between now and Wednesday?
Well, it's, you know, we'll get back in the gym and keep working. It's still January, you know what I'm saying? I've been saying all along, we are far from a finished product, and got a lot of work in front of us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Aloha.
Good on.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. T-Mac, before we kick it to the post game, that was quite the wild ride we went on this evening. And in the end, all smiles for Loyola Chicago. But I'll give you the last thought. What do you think about what was on display here tonight?
Well, I think 59 errors by Hawaii was very uncharacteristic. That's, you know, that's 15 errors per set. Charlie likes to get maybe 8 errors per set. He said with 8 errors, they're going to win. With 15, they're really going to struggle. But a lot of credit's got to go to the Loyola team tonight. They played really good volleyball. Hawaii fought hard. They showed the spirit. But as he said, they're still a work in progress. They're a really fun team to watch, to be sure.
Yeah, this was a vintage top 10 battle, and it just goes to show men's volleyball, man. This thing at the top tier, it can go any way on any given night, and man, is it a joy to witness. Congrats to Dalton Solbrig, assistant coach for Loyola Chicago. They come into Manoa and they get the win on night 2 to start the season 1-1. That will do it for us.